What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other day I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw a post that was actually spread around by a decent amount of people. The Ghost of Hope, Blame Truth, and honestly, now I need to talk about this as well. I'm sure you're probably going to hear this from a lot of different content creators, but this must be said because honestly, Activision is so full of crap. And not just Activision, but also the people behind the matchmaking system, the ones who literally put together the matchmaking system that we have in Call of Duty. They are so full of it. And honestly, when I got done listening to this post, my brain absolutely melted. Just a fair warning before we go ahead and check it out. If you guys don't want to lose brain cells and you want to, stay at a intelligent level, I would suggest not watching this video. But if you don't mind losing a handful of brain cells, then by all means, I'm going to showcase it to you guys, but don't blame me when I went ahead and warned you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday. And actually, today on Sunday, we're going to be doing an oddball stream again. I know I keep saying I'm not going to stream on Sundays, but again, me and my girl's schedules have kind of been a little funky. So Sundays have been, kind of normal streams for me at the moment. So we will be live today. So if you guys want to tune in, you can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't remember, Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming went ahead and got a little bit of an interview with the person who put together the algorithm for, what we're dealing with in current day Call of Duty. And it was an interesting, interview. But honestly, you guys should probably just go back and check out the video where I kind of critiqued it because, you could tell that they're trying to play both sides here when it comes to the matchmaking. They're trying to, appease to people talking their minds about the matchmaking system, but at the same exact time, they are, defending it. So I didn't really know how they felt, but after, hearing this footage here, because they had a live interview as well that just dropped recently, it kind of confirms that in all reality, I don't think they know anything, honestly, of what they're talking about at the moment, besides how to code a algorithm to, kind of, I guess, fine-tune everybody's experiences within Call of Duty. But when it comes to actual fun, when it comes to the reality of what Call of Duty is all about, yeah, I don't even know if they know what they're discussing here. But you know what? Let me stop talking, and I'll flash up the clip for you guys.
When I was talking about rose-colored glasses, oh, but the old CODs didn't have SBMM, and they retained players great. It's like, first of all, I don't think anybody has the true retention data. You don't know what the active player counts were on the old CODs. I don't know that Activision even knows that. So if somebody has that data, I would love to see it.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, earlier, you're going to lose a few brain cells listening to what they had to say here. This blows my mind. And once again, it proves that these guys don't have any clue of what they're talking about when it comes to what makes Call of Duty good or bad. And all they know how to do is code, which is not bad. I mean, it's a great life skill, right? But, maybe they shouldn't be dabbling in these discussions whatsoever because in all reality, Activision hired them to finesse the community, not to make the game better. And clearly they have no clue what makes the game better. And they truly believe that their system is exactly that. It's, the main factor on why people are quote unquote enjoying COD. I cannot fathom the fact that he just said that we have no clue what the player numbers were for the OG CODs, and Activision doesn't know how many people were playing the OG CODs. You can literally go on Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2 and see the exact player count. Now, it's not going to be probably accurate current day, but back in the day, you could see millions of people logging into the experience. So yes, I'm sorry to say, but back in the day, yes, I understand there was a matchmaking system in Call of Duty. I know everybody likes to say that there's not a matchmaking system, and that's the problem here. I feel like skill-based matchmaking has such a bad terminology to it because we've had a system like that in place before. Not as strict, obviously. It was, much more variety, but it didn't fine-tune your experience like it does nowadays. It was a protective bracket, and that's practically it. If you're in that protective bracket, then so be it, but every single person out there is going to be thrown into the normal experience no matter what. So yes, technically skill-based matchmaking was in the game back in the day, but it's nowhere close to what it is current date. The monster, the demon that you guys decided to create for this Call of Duty franchise. The OG system was nothing like what we have now. But again, it's proof. That's proof right there, and they're refusing to acknowledge that it's proof, but that is proof that the old matchmaking system was 10 trillion times better than what we have right now in, all of our recent modern Call of Duty titles. People enjoyed it. They claim that the player retention for players drops when they get whooped. Let me tell you guys something. Every single time I go to the limited time game modes and I play with the casual experience, because as you guys know, the limited time modes in the more modern day Call of Duty games has practically no matchmaking. So it's very casual. It's almost like an OG experience. Every single time I go to these modes and I start popping off, nobody leaves. They claim that everybody leaves. If someone gets dunked on, they're going to hop out of the experience. When I go into that matchmaking and I having a phenomenal game, nobody backs out. The only time people back out is when I go to the normal matchmaking, and you get the people who are adjusted to the matchmaking system, who are adjusted to being manipulated, and they only know what the manipulation side of this game is. They're so used to having their games handpicked by the algorithm to make sure it's the most fine-tuned experience that whenever they verse someone even semi-better, they don't want to learn from them. They just back out of the experience when that was never the case back in the day. But that's what Activision is trying to do. They're trying to train the current generation of Call of Duty players to be lazy, to not think, to not use their brains. I mean, the Call of Duty community, I think it's already been proven that we have the lowest, IQ, which is sad enough to say. But they're trying to dumb it down even further. And those are the only matches I see people back out of. When we're in the normal matchmaking bracket, playing with people who are being manipulated and used to being manipulated, those are the only players who leave. But when you go to the no skill-based matchmaking bracket, I never see it. Every single game I play where I'm stomping, nobody leaves. And I notice it for myself as well. I say it all the time. Back in the day, nobody left. We wanted to learn. When you got better players, you would stick in there. You wouldn't leave. I mean, of course, like I said, nowadays you leave because everybody's trained to back out and just get an experience that's better for them. But back in the day, you would grind through the ranks. If someone was better, you would work through it. And that's literally all I did myself. Even in other games that I play where I'm trying to get better, if someone is significantly better than me in other games, I don't leave. I play 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, as many games as I can. And yes, they're probably having a blast whooping me and getting high scores, but I am learning. It might be frustrating, but I'm learning from these players. That's the fun factor of it. But nobody does that anymore. Nobody wants to learn. Like I said, Activision is trying to train every single person in this community to be lazy and not try to improve or get better at the game or strive for anything within the game because they know their hand is going to be held. Even when it comes down to the map design in these current modern day COD games, they're dumbing those down as well. You don't have to think in these modern maps. You just simply run to the middle and you'll instantly find action, instant dopamine hit, instead of actually working for it and trying to get better and be able to achieve that fix a little bit easier over time. They don't want to do that. Again, matchmaking plus small maps is exactly the path that this company is trying to take. Hopefully, it's going to change around a little bit sooner or later, but I highly doubt it because it seems like this, this team that put together this algorithm is very happy with the work that they have done. And they truly do believe that this system is the new way compared to what we had back in the day. And apparently these more modern games can hold the retention of a player longer than it could, once again, back in the day, which, as I always say, I beg to differ. You can literally see that the player count in the OG CODs used to be absolutely phenomenal, above and beyond. The only thing that Call of Duty has for itself right now is the microtransactions, the amount of money they can pull from the store. It's a lot of people who are going to scoop up COD every year just for the title itself, Call of Duty, whether it's for the campaign, zombies, side modes, whatever. But the facts here are that the microtransactions literally pay them more than the base game sales. That's all they need. They don't care about, really anything else besides trying to hold players into the game or whales into the game as long as possible, not through fun and grinding and getting achievements, but through manipulation. And that manipulation is for those players who are going to cough up more money into the store. They don't care about having, 1 million players logging on in. Why would they care? If those 1 million players, if half of them aren't going to buy skins or do anything else, they don't care about them. They don't want that. They would much rather have, 50,000, 100,000 people logging on in on a day-to-day basis, as long as they know they can, once again, manipulate that base group of people to go ahead and give them and turn them more profit that they can later on share with their shareholders and say, oh, look, we're breaking numbers, making so much cash. Doesn't matter that people are leaving the multiplayer side and they don't really care as much anymore, but still, they're making cash. That's all that matters. That is the issue that we are here with. It's all numbers and stats and less about the community and how we feel within this game. And I'm telling you, man, as more games start to, come out, especially for console players, I think that eventually Activision is going to have to turn things around. I don't know. It might be 5 years down the road, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Definitely not soon. Maybe even 10 years down the road. But console is starting to get to the point where it's easier to put games on that platform. Before, you had to be on PC. That's why PC numbers for Call of Duty always dip so drastically compared to console, where they're literally topping the charts every single time. Because guess what? PC, we have 50,000 different games that we can play that are very entertaining. Console, not really, especially when it comes to first-person shooters or if you enjoy PvP games. It's rough. You don't really have variety. But more and more games are dropping. Fragpunk, Marvel Rivals has dropped, Splitgate 2 is coming out, a brand new Battlefield where they seem very active with their community right now. It's been a phenomenal road watching them grow throughout Battlefield 2042 from beginning to end, although we were angry with that game in the beginning. But, going to the end, watching their dedication to the community, and then transferring that same dedication to the next game and keeping that communication, that's huge. That's nothing, to take lightly. That is massive. Something's going to happen down the road where Call of Duty is going to have to wake up. I genuinely think so. It's just a matter of when. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're also going to be streaming today on Sunday as a little oddball stream. So if you guys want to tune on in, I got a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.